Nigeria, with the world's ninth largest gas reserves, is a major methane emitter, accounting for 16% of sub-Saharan African methane emissions from 2010 to 2020. With ambitions to further scale up exploration of fossil fuels, especially gas, Nigeria must manage the risk that increased methane emissions will bring, which includes preventing the country from meeting global climate commitments. The International Energy Agency estimates that in 2023, Nigeria could have generated about $350 million in revenues from methane abatation by selling recovered gas. Now, this workshop, organized by the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development in partnership with the Natural Resource Governance Institute, is focused on strengthening methane emissions strategies in Nigeria's gas expansion plans to achieve a sustainable energy transition.
But what we found out is that 30% plus of that emission is coming from the natural ecosystem. But human actions, fossil fuel production, operations, livestock agriculture, rice farming, is contributing as high as 60+% to the methane emissions that we're seeing.
Reducing methane emissions is both a global climate imperative and a matter of urgent domestic importance for Nigeria. The potential risk of other importers taking stricter methane regulation could further threaten Nigeria's capacity to trade in the global market.
As Nigeria navigates gas power transition, it must remain focused on the net zero target for 2060. Gas can be a short-term bridge, but it cannot be a destination.
Immediate action is needed to prevent increasing methane emissions from the oil and gas sector. So we have to be responsible as we are making these transitions and when we're having these goals to make sure that the methane emission that affects communities and affects people, that is managed while we're trying to achieve our energy security and energy access goals.
Aside gas flare and other sources of dangerous emissions are oil theft, illegal refineries and pipeline vandalism, impacting massive environmental pollution. A report by the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative disclosed that Nigeria lost 619.7 million barrels of crude valued at 16.25 trillion naira between 2009 and 2020.
NITE remains committed to driving public debate and a greater disclosure on methane emissions and likely strategies to ensure that Nigeria meets its national and global commitments in methane emission reduction and possible elimination.
The ongoing 2022-2023 NITE report in the oil and gas and solid minerals industries, to be published in September, will now track data on gas flaring and venting, which are major sources of emissions that severely impact the health and environment of local host communities. Experts here say Nigeria needs a robust methane emission framework to address technical and regulatory gaps across the oil and gas value chain. Georgina Ndukwezainka, Arise News.